Guys, how are we doing? And welcome back to another video. This is the Fighters Forecast. It's your boy Tennant speaking here. Cristo and I have done a little bit of talking recently, and we figured out a better way, more efficient way, so both of us can upload videos without having to be in the same spot. So you're gonna see more videos from him soon, hopefully. But right now, it's your boy Tennant talking. We're here to break down UFC Moicano versus Duncan. But let's look back to last week. We didn't do too well last week, guys. I said in the beginning I did not like the value on the card. All the guys who I thought would win, they're just chalked to minus 500, minus 600. Hello, Sephora. Yeah, so back to what I was saying. All the guys that I wanted to win, chalked to minus 500, minus 600, just not great odds. We fell into the trap of parlaying Ignacio Bahamondes into one of our Slam of the Week, Hammer of the Week plays, and then I came in with another video with Israel Adesanya Hammer of the Week. So none of those hit, guys. We had a bad week at the window. We came off a brilliant couple of weeks in a row. So I hope we can bounce back here in this card. I'm not gonna lie to you guys again though. I don't love the value on this card as well. But we're gonna break this down. We're gonna hopefully make some money, guys. And a Hammer of the Week's gonna come out shortly, very very shortly. A guy who I'm confident in, or maybe guys I'm confident in that get it done. This is Renato Moicano versus Duncan, guys. Chris Duncan. It's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a good fight card, to be honest, guys. If I'm feeling like if I'm looking a little bit, out of it, or if I'm stuttering a little bit, just got back from a long ass day of work, but I gotta get it out to the people today. The Wednesday. So we're gonna get this going. We're gonna steam over this card and hopefully make you guys some money. And we always start breaking the card from the bottom to the top. Kicking off the card, we have a new fight that was just added. We got Dakota Hope versus Kai Kamara III. Dakota Hope is 11-1 in his career. You've probably never heard of these names before. Dakota Hope has big power in his shots, a nice boxing stance, and has big takedowns as well. A guy who I like, did a little bit of can crushing out in China. So we don't really know how great this guy's going to be. Kai Kamada, kind of a low volume striker in my opinion. He's got decent takedown defense, a good 1-2 down the pipe. But I don't know much about these two guys. I've done a little bit of tape study on it, but it just got added today. So from what I've watched, I think Dakota Hope is going to be able to get the takedowns on this guy, and I think Dakota Hope's going to squeak out a decision victory or a vicious, brutal ground and pound finish on Kai Kamada. Give me Dakota Hope in this matchup. Next fight, we got Azamat Bakoyev against Tresean Gore. Azamat Bakoyev coming off the absolute destruction loss to Yusri Belgari, but we saw what he did last week, Yusri Belgari. He pieced up Mansur Abdul Malik. A lot of people were high on that guy. We got my boy Shees. Very high on that guy. That was his hype train coming out of the Dana White Contender Series. And speaking about that, I'm going to come out with some videos, guys, of my Dana White Contender Series hype trains that I have not touched ever since the season ended. I'm going to upload it to YouTube. Each person from each division is going to get a video. So you will see that shortly, hopefully within the next week. But back to this fight, Azamat Bakoyev got absolutely checked by Yusri Belgori. But that guy's a good fighter, man. We've seen what he's done to all these people. He's got great takedown defense, superb striking. We know the credentials of him, training with Alex Pereira, beating Alex Pereira in kickboxing. But back to Bakoyev. Bakoyev is a strong, powerful guy. Short for the division, but so is Tresean Gore. He's got decent skills, pretty well-rounded, nice takedowns, good ground and pound. Azamat Bakoyev is decent. After that win, the loss against Grizzly Belgori, it's kind of tanked his stock a little bit, to be honest, because he didn't get anything going. But Tresean Gore is just not good. The only thing Tresean Gore has is wild punches and also a tight gi. That is all Tresean Gore has. He's not catching Azamat Bakoyev in a gi, and I don't believe he catches him on the feet. I think Azamat Bakoyev is very, very good here to get this one done. Next fight, we have the returning of these two washed-up trash bag fighters. We got Lando Venata against Darius Flowers. Lando Venata, guys, who cares about this fight? Do not bet money on this fight. One guy hasn't fought in 2 years. One guy hasn't fought in 3 years. Why on earth would you bet money on this fight? How Lando de Venata is the fucking favorite is even crazier to me. A minus 270 favorite as well. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Lando Bedoya hasn't fought in 3 years. He probably hasn't even trained in 3 years. I thought he retired. Lando Bedoya comes forward with lots of aggression, high volume, throwing from his hip. Lando Bedoya is a madman. He's going to rush in there, try and get him. I think Darius Flowers is better than him, though. I think Darius Flowers can lower the level. He can get on top of Lando Bedoya and he can land some ground and pound here. I believe Lando Bedoya, Venata is just, way past his prime here. I know he's lost some good fighters like Daniel Zellhuber, El Kakui in his prime. But, Lando Bedoya or whatever, Venata, I can't even say his name. That's how irrelevant this guy is past his prime. He hasn't trained in 3 years, I assume, you know? So I got to go with a guy like Darius Flowers. How you're getting Darius Flowers at plus 200 makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I think you should get on Darius Flowers because Darius Flowers, decent volume. He's fought good level of comp. Evan Elder, um, you know, just that's a good guy. He would run through Lando Venata. So I think Darius Flower, in my opinion, can lower the levels. He can get the takedowns. He can get the ground and pound position on Lando, and he can finish him, in my opinion. Give me Darius Flowers in this matchup. Next, we got Alessandro Costa against Stuart Nickel. Alessandro Costa is fantastic, in my opinion. He lost against Alden Correa. There is no harm in that. Do not hang your head at all. Alden Correa is a monster in the 125 division. Alessandro Costa is extremely mobile. He has great boxing combinations, and he has decent grappling as well. Fighting a guy like Stuart Nickel, who just has not lived up to the hype when he was trying to be introduced into the UFC. Stuart Nickel has lost 2 in a row. Jesus Aguilar by Gi. Everyone before that matchup, Stuart Nichols 8-0. He's going to take the head off of Jesus Aguilar. Aguilar popped that Gi, took him out of there. Stuart Nickel, has not lived up to the hype, as I've said. He's mainly a grappler here. I don't believe he gets Alessandro Costa down because he's a very scrambly guy. He can get back up to his feet. He can use the fence, and he's way better in the striking. So give me Alessandro Costa in this matchup. Next fight, we got the Blob, Thomas Peterson against Guilherme Pat. Thomas Peterson is a wrestler, guys. He does not have good striking. His striking is slow. It is low volume. He does not have great striking defense as well, but he's a pretty good wrestler in his practice. Thomas Peterson's only way to victory in this matchup is literally hugging for the whole 15 minutes. Clinching, trying to get him down to the ground because Guilherme Pat does struggle trying to defend takedowns, to be honest. So this could be a really weird fight. I understand why the line is so close because it literally goes one of two ways. Either Thomas Peterson lays on this guy for a full 15 minutes, landing little shots on top in the ground and pound position, or Guilherme Pat sparks this guy early and puts him out cold. That is all it can be. One guy is way better at one thing. Guilherme Pat is massive for the division. He has a huge reach advantage. And I'm going to lean him here. He's the more athletic guy. I believe he can dig his underhooks on Thomas Peterson. He's not exactly a fast shot, just a bigger dude. But I believe Guilherme Pat's going to time it. He's going to come with an uppercut or a straight right down the pipe, and he's going to find the chin of Thomas Peterson. Next fight. Please, guys, mark this on your calendars. I'm going to pull up something right now for you guys. This is my boy, Jose Delano. Jose Delano is, one of the guys here. I love the dude, man. The dude responds to me, guys. If you look here, the guy just responds to what I say, what I've sent. Jose Delano is an absolute monster. This breakdown is going to be biased, but this guy was on my hype trains of the Dana White Contender Series. I think this guy is absolutely superb, and let me tell you why. Jose Delano has fantastic footwork, has great boxing combinations, has great takedowns and takedown defense. Jose Delano was the full package at the 145 division. He was ranked pretty highly in my list of Dana White Contender Series alums. I think he was ranked third. Yeah, third. So my first was John Pork. Second was Abdul Rahman Yahyaev, who you will see later, and third was Jose Delano on how far I believe these fighters can go. Jose Delano is going to put on a show here. His head movement is superb. His striking defense is amazing. He's going to be able to pick this dude apart, in my opinion. I'll be cheering for you, bro. Me and this dude, we respond to each other's messages. The guy's a sick guy. I really think he can go far in this promotion, the UFC here, and I really hope he can. He's fighting Robert Ruchecha. Robert Ruchecha's not a slouch. Guy used to be a champion another division or another organization. Robert Rucella is a wild man. He will come forward. He's got good cardio. He'll throw wild. The problem with Robert Rucella, in my opinion, he does not have the head movement that's going to be needed in this matchup to get a guy like Jose Delano to miss. Jose Delano is going to hit this guy with every shot he throws. Robert Rucella is an absolute madman. He's going to run forward, going to try and clinch, going to try and throw you against the fence, try and get you down to the ground. But Jose Delano is too complete, in my opinion. I think Jose Delano picks this dude apart for the first and second round. Maybe even gets a finish in there because Robert is so hittable. So give me my dog. Get on that train. Remember the name Jose Delano. I promise you guys, you're going to hear that name further up the ranks in the future. Next fight, we got Tommy McMillan against Manolo Zacchini. Tommy McMillan, I'm not really, wowed with Tommy McMillan. Bro got dropped 3 times by David Mungoyan. I know David Mungoyan is a good fighter, guys, but to be a minus 1,600 favorite against someone when you got dropped 3 times in the first round, pretty much got 10-8'd, do not touch this fight. Don't touch this fight on a money line standpoint. You could do props like fight to end, you know what I mean? Fight to end um, in round 3 or whatever, something like that. Fight not to go the distance. I totally understand that one. Tommy McMillan should run through this guy. He's minus 1,600. You know what I mean? Um, Tommy McMillan, he's very long for the weight class. He is a madman. He loves the look of blood. You could tell on his matchup, he didn't care he got knocked down. He didn't care he got split open, which you like to see in fighters that you are rooting for and betting on and cheering for. Tommy McMillan is a madman. He's going to come forward. He's going to throw his long combinations, but he's not that great at striking, to be honest. His work is in the grappling. A pretty good grappler in his own respect, to be honest. He has great submissions on the ground. That's kind of hidden when you're training with guys like Sean O'Malley and you have the coach like Tim Welch. So I believe they're working on this guy's striking. I believe you will see an improvement in his striking, but Tommy McMillan makes his money on the ground. And in my opinion, I think he gets a submission win over Manolo Zacchini. Zacchini's a decent striker, not a good grappler. I think Tommy can take this guy down and sub him. That's going to be my official pick, to be honest. Zacchini's just not class. He's not good enough. He hasn't fought in a couple of years. And I know we did see Tommy McMillan get dropped 3 times, but he came back and won the next 2 rounds. Something you cannot teach in fighters. And I'm hoping Tommy McMillan gets this job done. Ridiculous odds, though. Then we're moving on to the main card. We got Rafael Estevam versus Ethan Ewing. Rafael Estevam used to fight at 125 pounds. He was a weight bully at 125 pounds. The dude is extremely complete, in my opinion. He's got great wrestling entries, great takedowns, decent striking as well. The only problem with Rafael Estevam is his cardio. But maybe since he's moving up a division, the UFC's forced him up a division, doesn't have to cut as much weight. He'll be in better shape. He'll feel better. You won't gas in the third round like he normally does. I think Estevan's going to find a new weight class here, man. He's a big dude for 125. I think 135 is going to be a perfect weight for him. He's going to fit into most guys in this weight class. He's got great wrestling and grappling, some decent striking. Moving on to his opponent, Ethan Ewing. Ethan Ewing shocked the absolute world against Malcolm Wellmaker on short notice. This guy came in, he schooled Malcolm Wellmaker in every aspect of MMA. He had the better wrestling, he had the better striking, which nobody predicted. This guy took the UFC by storm. And you know what? I'm going to give Ethan Ewing some props here and respect, but I don't think you're getting through Rafael Estevam. I think this line is weird, in my opinion. Rafael Estevam is plus 125. I don't get it at all. I think people are chalked and they're biting to the hype of Ethan Ewing after beating the right hook merchant Malcolm Wellmaker. In my opinion, Rafael Estevam got the better wrestling. If he wants to take this fight down to the ground, he will and he can. The only problem would be Ethan Ewing in the third round. We've seen him. He has decent cardio. He can pressure Rafael Estevam and get him tired. That is the only problem I see in this matchup for Rafael Estevam. I think he'll be able to take this guy down, land some nice shots. If Ethan's not careful, he can get a submission as well. Give me Rafael Estevam in this matchup as the dog. Next fight, we have Tennant's number 2 ranked guy on Dana White Contender Series. Sadly, this guy didn't message me back, but maybe he doesn't even speak English, so who knows? But it's Abdul Rahman Yakyayev against Brendan Ribeiro. Abdul Rahman Yakyayev, I watched this guy on the Contender Series. He's an absolute monster. He takes his time, but he lands the shot. It is insane. The guy is not twitchy. He's not, I'm going to get in there and get a KO. He takes his time. He finds his opening. He lands that shot, and you are going to sleep. Abdul Rahman Yakyayev is both a striker and a grappler, but he's more predominantly a grappler. He dropped Rafael Sequeira in that matchup. He jumped on his back. He got a nice rear naked choke. An absolutely beautiful first fight for Abdul Rahman Yakyayev. I was very happy to see him get a win because the guys I put in the top 5 of my Dana White Contender Series contracts, I take very seriously, guys. I try and see who can really make it to the top, and I believe this guy can. He can make it into the top 10. I really believe that. Abdul Rahman Yakyayev, in my opinion, is a complete mixed martial artist, and he's fighting a guy like Brendan Ribeiro who's not good on the ground. It's that simple. Yakyayev is a grappler. Brendan Ribeiro is not. He's a striker. He's got good striking as well. So if Yakyayev is smart, which we will see in this matchup hopefully, he will shoot a takedown, he will get a sub, and he'll get out of there. If he does this, if he shoots the takedown on Ribeiro and gets a nice quick sub, I am all in on this guy because it shows multiple things. The guy's complete, but more importantly, the guy's got great fight IQ. And for guys like this, it's extremely important. If you want to stand there and bang with Brendan Ribeiro, it's a 65-35 for you to win. If you want to go and grapple the guy, it's a 95-5 for Abdul Rahman Yakyayev. I believe we're going to see a smart game plan from him. He's going to maybe strike for a little bit. He's going to shoot that takedown, lower his level, and choke out Brendan Ribeiro in this matchup. Next fight, we got Renato Moicano against Chris Duncan. This is the main event. This is a banger fight. We know who Renato Money Moicano is. The guy's a great guy on the mic, has that nice podcast that me and Christos follow. Renato Moicano looked like shit in his last fight. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it complete. He did not look good against Beneil Dariush. But you know what I like to see? I like to see that Renato Moicano is now stopping the podcast and he's taking his fight camp seriously. I have not seen the guy post in the last 3 months. Renato Moicano and Chris Duncan are teammates. They know exactly how each other fight. And Chris Duncan, he just showed he's okay with going to beat up a teammate as he beat up Mateusz Robelski. He fucked my hammer of the week, I think it was about a year ago. But yeah, no, Chris Duncan's a maniac. He's a monster. He's got good striking. He's got decent submissions as well. A nice tight guillotine as well. If you stick your neck out there, he will jump on it. But a guy like Renato Moicano, you're not going to do that, in my opinion. This comes down to the better striking. Well, I believe Moicano has the better grappling. I don't know if he'll be able to get that fight down. I really don't. But I believe he does have the better grappling. But in the striking, I believe I'm going to give the slight edge to Chris Duncan. This is a 5-round fight. Moicano has fought the best. Chris Duncan has not. I know he's only lost really to Manuel Torres, and that guy's a monster, but he got dropped multiple times by Charlie Campbell. You know what I mean? It's so hard to pick Duncan here as a minus 200 favorite, and I don't think I can do it here. I think Renato Moicano can use his experience in this matchup. I think he can clinch him along the fence. I believe he can land those crunching elbows on the fence. And eventually, when Chris Duncan gets a little bit tired, which he has not really got tired, so it's hard to really explain why I have the read in Renato Moicano in this matchup. I believe he has a better grappling. I believe he can get him down to the ground where he is the better BJJ fighter, and I believe he can open this guy up and threaten submissions. So give me Renato Money Moicano. I've loved the way he's locked in. He hasn't been posting on the Money Moicano podcast. He's really dialed for this matchup, and I believe if he loses here, he is done. That's 3 in a row. They're not going to cut him, obviously, but he's completely done, and his aspirations on becoming a serious contender are over. So give me Money Moicano in this matchup. Guys, thank you for listening to this breakdown. We're going to see the main man, Jose Delano, fight. That is the guy that's been texting me for months on months ends. The guy's phenomenal. Hope you guys can enjoy the show he's going to put on, and we're going to see his hand get raised. Thank you, guys. This is Renato Moicano versus Chris Duncan, and I'll see you guys in the Hammer of the Week. Peace.